how what I do is threatened by AI. Hi, everyone. Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Something a little behind the scenes for you today relating to current events in technology and, of course, artificial intelligence. I have a love-hate relationship with AI. Hate's probably too strong a word. Let's just say that I have some concerns. And some of those concerns relate to whether sites like Ask Leo can survive at all. AI is an existential threat. I know normally we say it's something about humanity, but that's something else. What I'm talking about is that this existential threat is real and current for the websites you probably rely on for content like answers to your technical questions. We're just losing our reason to exist. So I talked about this a few months ago. Traffic on askleo.com is actually way down. The original business model of a site like Ask Leo and many, many other sites across many different topic areas worked like this. Write quality content, write it or post it in such a way that search engines pick it up. This is what we refer to as SEO, or search engine optimization. Have those search engines then present links to that content when people search for related topics. Hope that people will click through to the site to get their answer, and then have advertising alongside the content on the site to generate revenue. Profit, maybe? Both AI summaries in existing search engines and AI chatbots have basically tanked that model in the last, I'll say, 24 months. They're no longer presenting links prominently for people to click on, but instead they present summaries and answers. People have no need to click through and visit the site. Fewer visits means lower ad revenue. Now, in my case, it was bad enough that I just removed all third-party advertising from the site. There was just no point in continuing to annoy the folks that made it there with ads that ultimately weren't helping. Ironically, website hits are up. I had to increase the size of the askleo.com web server the other day because it was getting pounded with page requests. Not from real visitors, of course. There were two culprits at play. The first are search engine spiders. Even though they're not presenting links as much, they continue to scan the site for updated and new content. How they use that information varies based on the search engine involved. Sometimes they do indeed present links to content relevant to what people are searching for, like the old days. More often, though, they're using the content that they find on my site and other related sites to generate summaries and answers that they present more prominently. And of course, there are AI spiders. There are many, many AIs out there right now, and it seems like they're all crawling the web, slurping up content to train their large language models or to provide real-time information when people ask questions of the AI. It's the same model as search engine summaries, though more extensive and complete. And while there are often references to source material, perhaps even found on my site, there's really little incentive for people to click through. So, yeah, I had to get a bigger, meaning more expensive, server to feed my content to the various spiders and bots that are scanning the web. Now, the first question you're probably asking yourself is, well, why let them? Why let them do this? Yes, there are various mechanisms I could use to prevent bots from accessing the content on my site. It's one reason you're seeing more of these "Are you human?" tests as you visit various websites around the web yourself. Website owners in my position face two scenarios. It's a really difficult choice. One is we can block the bots, and we would know then that AI and search engines will not use my content, they will never reference or mention me, and they will never ever send people my way. Or allow the bots and hope that the AI and search engines will use my content in such a way that people get the answers they need, and hopefully a few of them will click through or check a reference and find my site. Like I said, it's not a great choice. And that's why I say the fundamental model of publishing useful information online may be dying. What's my incentive other than altruism to keep publishing? Particularly if I have to spend still more money to keep the server from being overwhelmed by bots. What's the incentive for anyone to continue to create useful content online? Now, there is some irony here. I use AI. I've written about this before. I use AI as a tool more or less constantly. I don't have it write content for me, which is why at the beginning of every page on askleo.com, you'll see written by a real human at the top. But I definitely use it to, generate eye-catching images, prompt me to dig deeper into ideas, and just generally make the whole generation process easier and more complete. And indeed, I use AI when searching for answers myself. I try to click through to references presented. I mostly use Perplexity, which is actually great about including references to the source material. But I don't always. Sometimes the AI-generated answer is really all I need. So I'm not even complaining that the current state of affairs is wrong, nor am I saying that it's right. It is what it is, and it's having an impact. And it's going to get worse. Here's a scary concept. Quoting, "The quantity of AI-generated articles has surpassed the quantity of human-written articles being published on the web." That's from a blog post. More articles are now created by AI than humans from graphite.io. They are themselves an SEO or AEO, AI engine optimization, I guess, company. Now, there are open issues as to whether real people actually see those articles and whether they show up in search engine results or whether they're being used by AI. And to be clear, AI being trained on AI-generated content is another separate and honestly quite scary concept. Regardless, the fact is it's happening. And as some people have commented, you are currently seeing the worst AI you will ever see. By that I mean, AI is only going to get better. Now, does it matter where an answer comes from? This kind of harkens back to my old customer support argument of some years ago. If someone understands my problem and I can understand their answer and their answer actually resolves my problem, I do not care who they are or where they are. Understandability and accuracy matter. If those fail, then it's a bad customer service experience. And I think we've all experienced that at one time or another. Pragmatically, is AI really that different? If it gets you the answer you need, and it's correct, does it matter that it's AI generated? Now, to be sure, I know there are a boatload of side issues in the background. With human customer support, it's all about jobs and working conditions and so on. With AI, it's about where those answers ultimately came from. But as a user, when you need an answer, are you going to turn down the right answer because it came from someone's idea of the wrong place? I don't know. Now, honestly, what's saving Ask Leo today is video. Every written article has a video posted on YouTube where I cover the same topic. If there's something to demonstrate, I demonstrate. Otherwise, I discuss, not necessarily narrate, the article at hand, including this one, right? By the time you see this video, there's an article on the website. In fact, it's at askleo.com/186144. It's the number, the link that I mentioned at the end of every video. And on the article page, you will find at the bottom of the article this video embedded. Now, AI will probably be able to meet or perhaps even surpass the quality of much written content in the not too distant future. I'll keep writing and I'll keep pointing out that I'm human, but I know that that's a losing battle. And the same is going to happen with video someday. There's some amazing AI video being generated right now, but it's not on a par with videos created by real people, myself and others, discussing and demonstrating topics in the tech space. Yes, AI is still being used as a tool. For example, some whose English skills might not be up to par could use AI to transform their voice into something more understandable, for example. But it is still fundamentally human-generated content. If you see me on camera, it's me. But I'm not sure how long that'll last. I'll say we're good for a few years while AI catches up to the current state of how-to and Q&A video creation, but catch up it will. I'm just not sure what happens then. What does the future hold? Well, I will say that I'm not the only one facing this situation. I'm not even the first. Maybe the topic of technology is a little harder for AI to replicate. Certainly, we're seeing AI in other spaces further down its evolutionary path than we see here. Creators are responding in several different ways. Some are giving up. I hope not to do this, or at least not for a very long time. But someday, the incentives and the revenue we rely on are likely to disappear. I'm not sure when or what it looks like for me. Some are exploring alternate presentations. This is what I'm leaning into with YouTube and what I'm leaning into with my online course creation. AI is not there yet, so it's very much worth my time and investment. The third that I'm seeing in other spaces is building a community. I see this happening a lot outside of the tech space. It's about building direct access to a resource you trust. Newsletters, Substacks and the equivalent, patronage and members-only access are all built on one-to-one relationships, bypassing all the things that AI is competing on. It's why I've been a little more vocal about my own patronage options. askleo.com/patron for more. Is there something else? Certainly many creators and entrepreneurs continue to explore different ways to do what they do in a way that perhaps competes with AI less or complements it more. I don't know what this looks like, but again, it's something I'm keeping an eye on. Now, I want to stress, it's not just about me. I've used myself as an example here because, well, I know my issues, and you probably have a fairly decent understanding of what it is I do. I personally am extremely privileged that while Ask Leo is absolutely a business with a bottom line that pays me a salary, pays for my health care, pays 3 assistants, I'm not going to lose my home or go hungry if, for some reason, it all goes away. Hopefully that's the same for my assistants. The same is not true for other online creators. There are many who are terrified right now and see their livelihoods threatened by the changing landscape. Some may adapt. Some may figure out how to make it work. Some may pivot, while others may end up giving up on a dream they've invested much of their lives in. Now, I want to be clear. Bottom line here is that this is not an anti-AI screed, and I'm most certainly not saying that AI is evil or that you shouldn't use it. It's a tool, and it's a very useful one. It's just that it's having a dramatic impact on various industries, including my own. With that in mind, here are some things you can do. When you're using AI, click through to the references. Honestly, you should be checking AI's veracity anyway, since it is still hallucinating, in other words, presenting wrong answers from time to time. Consider supporting individual creators that you appreciate. That could be as simple and cheap as a free newsletter subscription, askleo.com/newsletter, or you could go further with a paid subscription or patronage, askleo.com/patron. Share the creators you appreciate with others. Word of mouth, or word of mouse, as one colleague put it years ago, is very real and very powerful. Particularly in an age of AI, recommendations from real people like you carry more weight than they ever did. And even though it'd be easy to take everything I've just said as gloom and doom, honestly, I remain excited by what the future holds. truly. It's just there's this ongoing challenge of change and finding out how best to participate in what's to come. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, in other words, the written version of this same video, visit askleo.com/186144. I'm Leo Notenboom, not an AI, for askleo.com. Thanks for watching.